Solop Poly or solo polyamory is a subset of polyamory where a person prioritizes individual autonomy over any other sort of relationship. If someone that's solo poly might be interested in having multiple emotional relationships, but they don't want to have any obligation to preference any of those relationships over their relationship with themselves.
So, narcissist, are you solo poly? I know what you're thinking. That's an oxymoron.
It sounds like a nickname for a lonely guy in the mob.
Yes. That's all solo poly. Yeah.
Hey, never got a girl around him. Look at him. He stinks. He smells. He eats cake all day.
That's right. Poly, if you don't get your act together, you always got to be solo. But actually, it means someone who's polyamorous with themselves.
Oh, boy.
And so whenever the left accuses you of waging a fake culture war, just remember that this was put out and amplified on TikTok. Unironically, this is the newest gender sexual preference. I don't know, insert whatever term here. Let's watch this.
What people mean when they say they're solo poly. Here are some quick facts that you might not know about. Solo poly or solo polyamory is a subset of polyamory where a person prioritizes individual autonomy over any other sort of relationship. If someone that's solo poly might be interested in having multiple emotional relationships, but they don't want to have any obligation to preference any of those relationships over their relationship with themselves. It's important to know that they can still want deep, emotional, ongoing commitment with other people. But whether they're single or in emotional connection with several people, they might not necessarily want to identify as being in a committed relationship with other people.
So, narcissist. just to be clear.
I didn't know there was a group for this.
I don't want to prioritize other people's needs, wants, basic human conditions above my me time.
Unless it's convenient.
I didn't know narcissist could be a sexual orientation, but that's so freeing.
We've enabled it while accusing traditional masculine behavior of narcissism.
Yes, I thought this was just like being a gigolo.
You know this? It's if you work too much, you're a narcissist. If you take pride in your work, or if you're self-critical, that's reverse narcissism. If you're a dancing sprite wearing sequins, demanding everyone look at you, well, by God, that's just a healthy self-esteem. So here's the guide to being solo poly, featuring This Is Real, the mascot for the solo poly community. It is a black Muslim peg-legged woman.
What?
Oh, so a Somali.
Yes. I am your solo poly now.
Hold on. This
is real. Let me read the description.
We're getting trolled.
Solo poly people tend to see themselves as their own primary. They usually have multiple separate or intertwined polyamorous relationships. They don't depend on the relationship escalator to express their commitment. This is what they do, right? Everything normal is bad and everything freaky, bizarre, and unhealthy is good. So when they say relationship escalator, here's what they mean. They mean a relationship where you go through phases and often experience personal growth. Escalator. We don't rely on that. We remain stagnant and pricks for life.
I'm just as good as I ever was.
My mother's basement is nice.
And I know you'll think this is silly, but again, does anyone want to use the slippery slope argument anymore? Remember we were talking about same-sex marriage? You can go back to me then in 2009, 2010. I don't think the way you're going to let this ends up. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, we already slipped.
They're never coming for your kids. Now it's minor attracted persons. No. The transgender discussion. No. We're just talking about adults. No one's talking about children. No. No one's talking about men and women's sports. Today's freak show that we laugh at is what will be normalized next. And when you say, no, that's a bridge too far, they will accuse you of waging a fake culture war. So let me break this down, make sure I understand this. Solo poly. I get to have a girlfriend, right? And all the benefits therein.
Right.
And spend Thanksgiving alone without their family? Yes. It's a good sell. I'm not going to lie to you. Like that makes
one turkey sandwich and some cranberry sauce.
Like no. I can't listen to your needs or wants. I'm solo poly. I'm going into the solo portion. You're poly. I'm solo right now.
Gosh.
So you prioritize yourself, meaning you don't want to listen to crap that you don't care about. Then you don't want a relationship with the opposite sex. That's half of what every relationship is pretending you give a crap about things you don't give a crap about. You don't have to give a crap about what she gives a crap about. You just have to give a crap about her. And same thing for you. You think she wants to hear about your fantasy football league for the third time? No, just like you don't want to hear about her knitting club, but you love each other, so you listen and you pretend like it matters.
What if I get drunk and practice solo poly on myself? And then later I'm like regretting the decision, and I go, oh no, wait, I slept with myself and I didn't want to sleep with myself, and now I've raped myself. Oh no, I gotta report myself.
Exactly.
Me too.
That being said, I deserved it. I was asking for it.
You should have seen what I was wearing when I got drunk.
Which brings us to, you think this is bad. People don't realize this because now when you combine these new categories, these new gender preferences, along with the mental health crisis in this country, a new group has emerged, the Solop Poly schizophrenic gender.
All right, tell me about your sex life.
Oh, dude, it rips. I'm crushing it, Doc.
And how do you think your partner feels?
Oh, I love it, I do declare. And I love you too if you fancy yourself a Southern Belle.
Who are you talking to?
Southern Belle. You look like the Liberty Bell.
Me?
He was talking to me, Mr. Doctor. Oh, how I love me a medical man.
Let's not focus on me. Let's keep talking about you.
Oh, me? You talking to me? Because, well, it's been an adjustment, but, you know, we all got to make our sacrifices here and there, don't you know?
Who is we? Are there any others?
No me digas a puedo amar, pendejo.
Oh, I wasn't trying.
He like a me for my limp noodle.
Well, that's a little outside my purview.
All right, well, are we about done here? Because I got a lunch date.
With who?
Who's the guy he's on first?
Okay, but what is the...
No.
guy?
What's on second?
Oh, all right. I get it. And I don't know who's on third base?
Oh, honey, I think I do know who's getting to third base tonight.
Why?
No. Why is the guy that's in left field?
And you know what? It makes just as much sense. So here's the thing. When you simply absolve people of the responsibilities of being an adult, then you end up with an entire generation of people who quit and stop viewing news after an election that they don't like. That's why the left can't deal with adversity. The left can't deal with adversity because the Solop Poly community never had a dad say, "What?" And so when you just say, "Yeah, all of this is acceptable, all perverse ambitions are acceptable," you don't deal with the real problem. There's a real problem, by the way, with Gen Z in relationships.
Yeah.
And we're not dealing with it. So 56% of Gen Z blame fear of rejection for not pursuing a relationship. 57% of Gen Z fear it would be a turnoff to actually confess their feelings. 77% of Gen Z admit to ghosting someone, meaning it's all about themselves. They're not treating people as human beings. Ghosting someone, and I'm sure that everyone has maybe done something like that to some degree, but not treating people like a meat factory like we do today. And you're going to end up with a generation of people who don't get married, who don't have meaningful relationships because they're pursuing some new label in order to gain popularity with people they'll never meet on a subject that no one cares about and ultimately a life that doesn't matter. We're not dealing with the real problem, but you do have to push back, even though they'll accuse you of waging a fake culture war. That's where we are. That's where we are. That's why the Solop Poly thing is just the objectum sexual thing was a big deal, where someone married the Eiffel Tower.
Yes, I remember that.
There weren't enough wet wipes in the world.
I hope this swings back the other way with the generation getting more conservative because it has to. This doesn't lead anywhere good.
No.
Right? If men, and we've talked about this before, men not wanting to enter into relationships, not wanting to get married until later in life or even at all, like this is horrible for culture. Like,
yes,
this kind of stuff has to be made fun of by both sides.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me give you a really simple metric, okay? Follow this on a graph. Maybe someone could put this on a graph. The relational dysfunction that we see with this generation correlates with the record number of erectile dysfunction that we see in young males. That shouldn't happen. When I was that age, my parents had to raise the furniture like a Great Dane's tail. Do you have any idea for a young, healthy male now to have, they're marketing boner pills to teenage boys, to 20-year-old men now. Think about that. There's a big enough market. Yeah, well, maybe it's also because you're not having emotionally fulfilling relationships. Doesn't mean that everyone's gotten it right, but that doesn't mean that we have to make everything acceptable. Hey, if you like this video, you should know that there are videos every day because they come from the full live show weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you want more of a sample, you can click this video next to me. I don't know what it is. Could be a change of mind. Could be a debate. It could be one of my appearances on The View. Have your puke bucket.